Hi Aries. Alright, welcome to this space. If you're new here, it's called Opal Oracle, this space, and I am called Raaji. Okay, so I'm recording this in December, but you may find this at any time, right? So either way, I hope now is good for you. It's a very sacred time, right? At the end of the year, so many holy days, lots of gathering and good food and gifts. I feel as if there's things that are flowing towards you that are really beautiful. It's good. It's gentle though, so sometimes you have to be quiet to pick up on it. I feel as if these are like physical things that are flowing towards you. It's also emotional, like good emotions, you know, good energy. I also feel like the hawk is important, or any kind of like bird of prey you connect to, or just bird in general. I feel like that's on your side. I also feel as if there's like plans for the future. I keep seeing that, like maybe what are your plans for the future? I can see some things that seem there's like openness, right? There's an option for new energy. Again, allow that which is flowing towards you. And I see, don't forget to say your prayers. Something about like you're allowed to ask for things. And I see the one card that actually there's two cards that showed themselves, but one particularly in the spread, one stayed on the outside, which is awesome the way it laid out. But the one that showed itself is the Three of Cups, which is really beautiful. This is in the heart of the matter, so this shows me a very happy heart. Very happy heart. And then I heard like a country song, like a lady singing a song about the heart. This is good gathering too. I like that for this time frame particularly. People getting together and having a nice time. If you could just hang out with like you and two other people, who would that be? Like who's your main little circle? Where they understand you. Let's see what's going on in your mind. Okay, it was just 3:33. Okay. A little bit of stress in there, maybe about work, but the heart is so happy. So the head's a little hot, right? You rule the head. So I would also say, remember that if you ever get too hot, which means that your power some way, somehow is a little bit misdirected, then water really helps you to balance yourself. Sagittarius is your trine, right? So this could be taking a shower in the morning, making sure the water's a little cool. It could just be washing your hands. You know, use water. Use water to, if the energy ever feels misdirected, okay? If you do have any stress about work, let's see what you're doing. Let's see what you've been creating in your life, like the physical. Oh, so strong right now. You don't have to worry about work so much if you're worried about it. It's really not that big a deal. If I guess the one stress could come from if, for instance, some of you are relying upon other people for money, or relying, like, say this is kind of like, I don't know, like I'm seeing where it's kind of like, how do I explain this? There's a time and a place to, there's a time and a place. Something about recognizing the space. I don't know how to explain that more. Let's see if we go down the line, what it looks like. Okay. Let me try to figure out what this message is. It's trippy. Just a minute. Some of you are like, I don't know how I'm going to do that, or I don't know how this is going to get done. Some of you could be tired too. But this part of the body, from the shoulders, like the chest over to the heart, this is all so solid, okay? I guess, what does this represent? If the head's a little stressed, and the hands are kind of, this is like, I'm seeing like crabby claws. Me. Hungry eyes. Something about spaghetti. Hold on. Let's go back to the strength. This is Scorpio. This is Capricorn. This is Gemini. Ooh, that's a good triangle. Okay, awesome. This part of your body, again, the shoulders, the chest, your heart space, this is all, you want to make sure you have good posture. Okay, that could be another way for you to, this is about confidence, right? It's not bravado, it's not chest bumping. It's just like, let me open, well, I see someone say, let me open this up. Let me open up here. Because I would suppose you're meant to feel strong you do feel strong in the water and in the earth. These are both feminine energies. It's almost like your power, okay? You have a lot of it. Yes, you do. I just split the deck to the 9 of Cups. I want you to be happy for what you have created thus far, okay? Please, yes, all the places you have worked, okay? All the places you've untangled yourself from. Say the last half decade, right? Last 5 years. Shoot, for some of you, I mean, I know these readings are trippy and waste of time, but like, that which you have overcome, challenges you have faced, good, right? It's not a sense of pride that's like overwhelming so that it's stinky. It's just like, okay, I can do that. Maybe that's a part of it, because let's see what your root chakras do. Okay, so your root chakra wants you to be aware of your own action. Okay, and remember, no one can receive with a closed fist, right? Scorpio talked about this before. It's like fisticuffs or a hug, right? It's that's all. It's like happiness or tears, right? Sometimes your opposite, Libra, that life has a lot of grays and mid-tones in it, but really I guess if it ever gets too tight, you got to go to these extremes in yourself and your mind, particularly to be like, wait a second. No, this isn't too hard to do. You know, maybe some of you, it's like you don't know where to start with certain things. This could be like a physical action where you're like, how do I start that? Or like, this seems too like when you're about to get into something, or when you're in the middle of something and you feel overwhelmed, you need to back up a little bit again, open up this and say to yourself, I can do this. I can do it. Okay? I see for most of you, you have the money to do it. You have the security. There's security to do it. You have support. Financially, emotionally, in a friendship way. In a relational way. You have a lot of support here. So maybe for some of you, it could be where maybe sometimes it's a little hard to ask for help. So just be aware of when you need it, okay? I mean, of course, can you handle any challenge on your own? Yes, but remember, you're a soldier. You are also like a samurai, right? There's samurais and there's ninjas. There's samurais and ninjas. Aries, in essence, is like a ninja, a soldier. They work together with other people. It's what makes the trying to achieve the goal helpful. Soldiers also are told by the general what to do, right? Or the king informs the ninjas on what to do, whatever the case may be. So in essence, although you're very independent, sometimes you need a little direction from other people. Or it could at least be inspiring that way. So also be open to that. That doesn't diminish your value, because you're a big part of the whole. Now, at times, you have to play king, right? Because that's Leo, you're trying. You have to play king, right? And you have a king here, King of Cups and King of Pentacles, right? Both super solid. Both of these also represent financial abundance. Remember, when you're stressed out about work, when you're stressed out about family, when you're stressed out about, like, your faith gets a little low sometimes, this is because something emotional is happening with Moon, which in essence affects your mind, which will relate back into home, relationships, passion, right? Here's the Lovers. And I guess being aware of the fact that, like, your personal relationship, my goodness, look at these cards. Your personal relationships, right, are going to be indicative of the way you feel about everything else, okay? I also see, with this being Gemini, the Six of Wands, and the Star, this is also... Wow, this is so pretty. I don't even... If you've been looking for something, Aries, I feel like it shows up. It shows up through your effort, though, so don't give up, because remember, we started with this Ten of Wands in your head. That means that you're... in your mind, you're thinking, again, future, right? Sure, it could be a lot to attain, depending on what you want to attain. But please don't tell yourself that you can't do something, okay? Because one of your hands and what you do, this is your right hand, actually, your action hand, is actually the Nine of Wands, so you're right there. It's just, this card to me is showing me something. Sorry, it's very bright. I don't mean to scowl. So much light, right? This card to me right now is showing something about where a person's like, okay, I've made it all the way here. Now what do I do? And the other hand is like Moon's like, I don't know. So if you don't know how, I don't know. Maybe that's one of those things where you might just have to acknowledge that a little bit. Say someone asks you a question, or you're talking to yourself, trying to figure things out. You're like, I don't know. But remember, when we say I don't know, that's a means of surrendering intellectually, which is okay, because, again, what that does is, instead of being like, I got it, closed fist, you're like, I don't know what to do. Or somebody asks you a question, I don't know. You got any, do you know? what this does again is give you an openness, like, oh, I don't know where to start, or I don't know how to do that, or I don't know how this is going to work out. Maybe this is, again, just even giving a bit of woodpecker. You know, giving a little bit of that stress to God, maybe, or to spirit, where this could also be to your spouse. You know, things like this where you're like, look, I don't know, what do I do? I feel like if you open up, okay, don't try not to be too rigid, okay, open up, because if you do, again, there's a gift that's given to you. It's like you open up, here you go, right hand, here's your hands all closed. Here's when someone's just like, no, I need something. It's like, oh, boop, there you go. I heard, remember that your time is one of the greatest gifts. Time is one of the greatest gifts, Aries. Time is one of the greatest gifts, Aries. I just got so tingly. Time is one of the greatest gifts that you have. How you spend your time, how you feel about where you're at, okay? That's gonna help a lot. I do feel like, since we're looking into, this is the end of this year and going into the next year, I see this next year you becoming a lot stronger, okay? But you have to decide that. You have to decide that you're ready to move into a new space of you. Some of you could also be considering moving. I would also, if you have a vehicle, you want to drive it without, make sure you drive your vehicle, like, listen to the vehicle, okay, listen to quietly, right? Because things sound different when they're cold, when they're warmed up. You know, sometimes when we're listening, we'll just try to listen for the thing that sounds off, instead of trying to listen to what sounds right. Interesting energy, Aries. Let's see here. Okay, you know what's trippy? Your feminine side is all earth and moon, which is all earth. It's all, this feminine side is all feminine. Look at this, King of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, and the moon. Some of you are tripping about money, or you don't think you got enough of something physically. You don't have enough power, you don't have enough something, but you got it all. This is all of it. Actually, this is enough to invest in something too if you want to, but maybe some of you are confused about, I mean, I guess if you've been putting a lot of energy into something and it's not growing, then you're gonna have to understand that there's something different. You know, you don't want to push something that isn't happening. Do you know what I mean? You have to go into, have to is a big word. Hold on. Well, I guess it goes back into this feminine, like, what's she thinking about? Hold on. What does she think? Oh, such a deep, somebody else got this card. Look at that. Look at this. Holy. Okay, I was wondering what the Queen of Holy. I was wondering what the Queen of Cups is looking at. Oh, there's that Seven of Wands that I keep seeing. Look, if you're trying to do something, you're trying to get to that Six of Wands like we saw earlier, and you keep getting blocked anywhere, please drop it. Okay? If you drop it, you're like, no, that's enough of that. Yep, I'm going to cut that out because, again, you're going to let go of something which gives you a new opportunity to have something, which then here you plant the seed. The seed gets sun. You grow a huge garden. You know, something that really grows that feels good too. It not only helps you, it helps the whole. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, whole new perspective on life here. Interesting. Now, if for some reason you're working through something, you're in a place and you're like, again, the mentality is like, I don't know, that's too hard, that's too much. I mean, you got to be practical here with something. Financially, dealing with whatever it is over here. This is being responsible also, just in general in the physical world. Just listening. Remember, there are good things coming towards you, so your effort really matters. Again, because I sense that for most of you, 90% of life is really solid. And again, things are coming towards you with your good effort. But some of you are projecting too much into the future, and it's stressing you out. Aries had a reading a long time ago. It was called Worst Case Scenario. It was like, all right, you can almost like visualize way deep in the future, and because of that, it seems like too big a thing. It's like, well, just do one part at a time, you know? Do one step at a time, because you've already come really, really far here. But I guess this next step is a big deal because, but maybe there just needs to be a little bit of rearrangement. Yeah, Lovers. And there's the Star again. There's a lot of nude people on here too. There's a lot of vulnerability in these cards. These cards represent being really comfortable in people being comfortable in themselves, right? It's being who they really are. They're not hiding anything. And there's great faith here. And there's a knowing of like, what's right, what's wrong. I don't feel like there's any blaming about anything. Pisces, Capricorn. Oh, the Star kind of walks on water like Jesus too, huh? Interesting. Because this really is a card of creation, right? It's a creation card. So what are you wanting to create in your relationships? This is also create in your mind. I guess you have a lot more power over your mind than you think that you do. Let's see about that. I know sometimes that can be hard for you. Stress in your head. You know what I mean? Maybe this for some of you could be about delegating tasks also, or again, it could be a part of it where like some of you there's so much going on at home and work, responsibility, family, all this. There's so much going on there that it's just like, holy, I'm burnt out. Let's see. Queen of Cups. Well, you got to make sure that you are, well, who soothes you when you can't soothe yourself? What soothes you when you can't soothe yourself? Remember that No one can see the future, okay? No one can. How do I see this? Well, I guess this month going into the next year, I feel like whatever your weakness was in you is becoming stronger. Which is again bringing you to another place where you can, I don't know, I see bringing you to another place so you don't have to play chase. You know, four of Wands and the Star, that's some really powerful, you know, remember 4th house, 10th house is always connected. Home and work, always connected. You and other people, always connected. There's no way to that is the crosshair. So whenever you get a little bit stressed, I want you to pay attention to these 4 points, okay? How is work going? How is home going? How are you doing? What's going on with other people? And for some, there could be something about making boundaries, especially if you have family, children, things like that. Like, again, you're the main, like, financial provider or whatever. Like, you want to... Whoever's putting in a lot of energy here needs to also be supported or respected, appreciated. Maybe that's a part of it, is someone gives a lot, but they're not being appreciated. If that happens to be the case, well, I guess there's 2 points here. One is are you a kind of person where you give where you are wanting to receive? Or are you the other person where you give and you give like infinitely without... Because you know what? Giving should be mutual. Not that it should be expected, but what are we doing? We're like, we got one hand closed and one hand open. Some of you are going to move home, huh? Or maybe some of you don't want to shift to a new place, but please be open to it. Now, this doesn't mean all of you would like a physical, ultimate, like, home move. For some, it definitely is, but I guess this is also a shift of feeling, right? It's a shift of comfort. And I guess for you, Aries, it has a lot to do with your mentality and your energy. Your root chakra is also opening up here, which is about security. Maybe there's a little bit of reinforcement that's also needed. There's that Ace of Wands again to close this out. Remember, you hold a lot of power in your hand, but if you're always wielding it, you're going to be tired. Okay? And because your Capricorn squares you, remember that when you give a lot, say physically, or even financially, whatever, again, the physical world, why, it ain't nothing wrong with a thank you. What's that about? Well, I guess this is about respect. And remember, if you are ever not being respected, please check in with this heart space, okay? okay? Especially if anything, again, feels too... You don't have the direction, right, that you want. Just, and maybe you want to think about what you're just trying to do next, you know. Think about your own strength. See, like, remind yourself who's really on your team again. And, and be aware of who is not, okay? Oh, look at that. Because, you know, it's more important. I mean, I guess you got to cut out things that aren't, you know. I can see can be your own uncomfortability of in certain ways. But it's such an interesting energy. It's like I don't feel a passive energy, but it's meant to be really strong. But it's like when to use it, you know. Oh, remember, Mars, your ruler, will be retrograde until the end of January or so. Oh, hi, Spidey. Oh, you're just a daddy long leg. You scared me. Come here. See you later. I'm glad I didn't squish him. Right, wasn't reactive there. Look at this. What would you like to create? Goodness gracious. What is it? What are you wishing for in and of yourself too? I could see this as Aquarius rising as well. This is getting to know yourself better. Getting to know you. Getting to know all about you. Do you feel like there's a great gift given? Keep seeing it. Yeah. It has a lot to do with a person's faith and moving forward to the next space. Okay? Confident. Yeah. Confident. What are you wanting also in relation to you again and other people? Okay? And if there's any place where you are questioning your own ability or value, I feel like that's something that's really changing next year. You know? Big changes in who you are. Having the ability to make confident choices also. Knowing when to stand up, knowing when to stand down. I feel like someone talked about maybe Aquarius this month. It's, this is a place of authority. It's good authority too, because he has wise counsel. You know what I mean? He has his own mind. He's wise in and of itself through his years and time, etc. But he also has wise counsel. And I guess you also have that now here too. You know, and I really feel like if there's anything you're worrying about or stressing about, remember to check in with those 4 points, because I feel like it's not... you know, maybe there just needs to be a different conversation around it, right? Again, I heard I can do that. I can do that. God willing. You know, you got to try. Okay. I love you so much. I hope this was of service. Happiest holy days, merriest Christmas. Happy solstice too. We'll talk before the new year. But yeah, thank you so much for being a part of this space. And it's a pleasure and a blessing to be able to connect. You know, I never thought I'd be here right now, did you? Take care of yourself.